You see, the story of Exodus that we are reading is a prototype, according to Micah chapter 7, verse 15, for the final Geulah. So we really need to pay attention, in a very close attention, to the story of Shmot, Yetziat Mitzrayim, what's happening in the wilderness, because it's a picture of the birth pangs of the Geulah, of the coming of Messiah. The prophet says to us that the Mosaic is truly a blueprint of the things to come. Now, in this Torah portion, this Shabbat, we are reading about one of the lowest points in Jewish history, the golden calf and the breaking of the tablets. Those of you who know Jewish history, you know that this day is represented in our calendar by the 17th of Tammuz. We are reading about the 17th of Tammuz right here in the Torah portion today. And the parallel to what is happening right now in Israel and what is happening in the world are rather stunning. Therefore, when we read the Torah, we need to understand every Shabbat, the pages of the Torah are speaking straight to us from what is happening in the world. And I want you really right now to dive in with me into the understanding of the significance of Ki Tisa. And specifically, we're just going to be focusing today on one verse, chapter 32, verse 1, this story that led for the golden calf. And we have to understand what's behind it and how this is related to what is happening right now inside the state of Israel. I hope everybody heard the reports a little bit earlier, but if you're not, friends, pay attention to this. I'm going to connect it to the new Hamas, the fall of Edom, and to our sages. Let's go together to the text and read together. It says, "V'yera ha'am ki boshesh Moshe laredet min ha'ar, v'yikel ha'am al Aaron, v'yomru elav, קום, עשה לנו אלוהים, אשר ילכו לפנינו, כי זה משה האיש, אשר העלינו מארץ מצרים. לא ידענו מה היה לו. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, the people gathered against Aaron and said to him, "Come, make us a God who shall go before us. For that this fellow Moses, the man who brought us from the land of Egypt, we do not know what has happened to him." Friends, this is a very shocking passage that we are reading here on multiple levels. In multiple levels. Now, we have to remember Moshe is a picture of Mashiach. So we can make the parallel of Moshe's coming down with the tablets to what's going to happen when Mashiach going to come down from heaven soon, speedily, on our day. So we have to look at this passage in a messianic lens. And I'm not the only one who's doing it. In a moment, we will see that the Ramad, the Orach Chaim, also look at this passage and say, well, this is truly a messianic passage. Now, we have to understand also what's happening here in the text. They say, we do not know what happened to him. One of the signs that I am speaking about in the fall of Edom, that's going to lead to the coming of Mashiach, the sign is completely confusion. A state of confusion. And as you're going to see here in the text, the children of Israel waiting for Mashiach to come are in complete state of confusion. Today, Israel is in a complete state of confusion about the coming of the Mashiach and the Geulah. We are in the same boat as we have been before. And the question is, how do we get out of this? Listen to what the Ramad is writing in his commentary. I translated it from Hebrew to you about Exodus 32 verse 1. He says, "It is well known that there is nothing more difficult and hated by the sitra achra. Let's stop there for a second. The sitra achra. What is the sitra achra? In the fall of the dome, you read the book about one of the things that's going to happen in the last day. The unleashing of demons on the face of the earth. The unleashing of the sarim onto the face of the earth. The sarim, if you remember from the new Hamas, are the demonic entities that are serving under Satan in the heavenly realm. Okay? Satan have an army of over 400 demons. And each one of those demons have a name. And each one of those demons is called, by the end of the day, they are demons that have this expression in Hebrew, Sarei Chabala. What it means, Chabala? That's where we get the word mechablim. What is mechablim? Mechablim is the word terrorist. Sarei Chabala. They have one job in the world: to bring terrorism, to bring chaos, to bring spiritual calamity, to bring confusion into the world. And one of the things that you're going to see here is that the Sarei Chabala are the one who are behind everything that is happening here into the text. We have to be very cautious on the spiritual realm. For many, many years, I have not spoken about the spiritual realm. But now I really believe that we have to be, especially after what happened in October the 7th, we have to be very sensitive to this spiritual world. And that's why I wanted to read the fall of Edom. It's stunning. Some will say the Ramad sound like a Christian. No, Ramad is not a Christian. Ramad is an Orthodox rabbi that is very sensitive to the spiritual realm. And so are you. Look at what he's saying here. Let's read again. It says, there is nothing more difficult and hated by the sitra achra, meaning all the sarim of Satan, than the revelation of the truth in the world. Stop right there. There is two forces that are going to work in the world in the last days, and you need to pay attention to that, especially in the light of what I'm about to release to the public later on next week. There are two forces: the force of Emet and the force of Sheker. Emet and Sheker. Emet is Aleph and Taf and Mem in the center, meaning it's hard to find it. You have to travel great distance from Aleph to Taf to find Emet. Sheker is 3 Hebrew consecutive letters: Shin, Kuf, and Resh. 3 consecutive, Kuf, Resh, Shin. Those are 3 consecutive letters. Why? Because Sheker is going to be everywhere. Sheker is going to be everywhere. And the war of that I call in the book the war of Emunah, Milchemet HaEmunah, is a war between truth and lies. You need to understand, the war here is between truth and lies. Emet is one of the name of Mashiach. Sheker is the name of Satan. He called the Shakran. We have to understand why the truth is more important than anything else. And what do you see right now happening in the world? Everybody has their own version of the truth. There is no absolute version of the truth. This is, brothers and sisters, the sign of the time. And Noach, if you watch me, I would appreciate if you can bring me a glass of water. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Look at this. Truth, let's read together. Truth caused destruction in the house and the foundation of the lies. There is a house, it's called the house of lies. And the only way to destroy the house of lies, according to the Ramad Valley, is through the destruction with the truth. The truth can only stand to Satan. The only thing that can stand to Hasatan is truth. This is the reason for the swirling and the mixing of the sitra achra, that have a whole tikkun olam depend upon the nullification of the lie, of the sheker, and the deception. Everything that we call today, brothers and sisters, everything that we call today tikkun olam, repairing the world, fixing the world is depending upon one thing: having a truthful heart, having a truthful spirit. Did you notice since 2020 how many people lie? How many people deceive? Did you notice the level of deception? Even inside the body of Messiah. Brothers and sisters, the number one thing that you have to hold on to in the days ahead is the truth. The truth, nothing but the truth, and not truth that is crooked. And here he explained to us that there is a reason and there is plot for the way Satan works. What Satan does, Satan uses a tool that is called swirling. You know what is a swirling? Swirling is something that is spinning and spinning around. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Noah. Thank you. Excuse me just for 1 second. The tool that Satan is used is a tool that called swirling. What is the word swirling in Hebrew? The word swirling in Hebrew is the word Erev. That's where we get the word irbuv, mixing something. Le'arbev. When you take a bowl and you put eggs and you put the flour, you mix it. That's called irbuv. Irbuv is a very important word to understand. It's mixing truth with lies. It's mixing sheker with emet. It's mixing light and darkness. This tool of Satan is not to give you a complete lie, but to mix the truth with the lie. You follow what I'm telling you? We have to pay attention to this. Look at what I wrote in the fall of Edom. I quote straight from the book, read the book. And I wrote, chutzpah is the spiritual virus that is plaguing our world today. It is characterized by a sense of entitlement, pride, arrogance, and focus on personal prosperity. This virus causes people to redefine what is right and what is wrong, based on their own feeling and subjective experiences, rather than adhering to a global, universal system that can be accepted by all humanity. Pay attention to the final little sentence in big bold letter for you. In other words, chutzpah seek to remove truth from the world. Chutzpah is one of the signs, as I explained in the book, of the last days, right before the coming of the Mashiach. And what chutzpah seeks to do? Literally to introduce you to evil. And how so? Removing truth. Sometimes this much, sometimes this much, sometimes this much. But to create the truth and falsehood to mix together. So one will not be able to discern between the truth and the falsehood. In a moment, you'll see how it is connected to the passage that we just read. Listen to what it says in Isaiah 59:15, which is a sign of the time. It says, and whoever, so truth in the last days, so now truth is missing. Literally, it said in Hebrew, Vatehi ha'emet ne'ederet. There will be no absolute truth. Brothers and sisters, we are living in those days right now. Go and tell anybody anything is absolute and they will call you a hater. The moment you say something is absolute right or absolute wrong, people say, no, you're a hater. That is a sign of the time. And look what it says here in Isaiah 59:15. It said that truth will be missing and whoever live evil will become prey. What does that mean? The moment you live evil, you will be considered as an outcast. Why? And look at the Hebrew. Unfortunately, I didn't put the English, but look what the Hebrew said. Ki en mishpat. There will be no system between one another of absolute right and wrong. Ki en mishpat. There will be no absolutely right and wrong in the last days. If you want to understand what happened in this golden calf incident, you have to understand the plot of the enemy, the trick of the enemy. what he has done, he is penetrate and he mixed inside Israel a foreign ingredient into the mixture. That is the most serious thing that we have to watch for in these last days. Look at what I wrote in the fall of Edom. The lack of truth speak of the diminishing power of right and wrong, and true and false in the world. In the state of the world, reign will be given to Satan to operate freely. Exactly what the Ramad says. Human choices determine how much power Satan possesses. The Hebrew word mishtolel speak of the spirit of madness or chaos that will be operating due to the lack of absolute truth. The lack of truth angers God because we destroyed the mishpat, exactly what Isaiah 59:15 said. The mishpat, or our horizontal relationship with one another, our complete lack of truth, straight from the fall of Edom. I want you to understand what's happening right now in the world. The chutzpah, meaning there is no boundaries. You notice people have no boundary to what they're going to do right now, is also measured or tempered with or joined with lack of truthfulness, of right and wrong. And this pandemic is in individual, this pandemic is in the government. Look at the headline just today in the newspapers with me, and I'm going to read it to you in Hebrew. Benny Gantz, who is the head of the opposition in Israel, Benny Gantz will fly to Washington tomorrow and Sunday without asking permission of Benjamin Netanyahu, who was furious. Israel has one prime minister. Why is it that the opposition leader in Israel is flying on his own to meet with Biden officials without the approval of the Prime Minister of Israel? How is it even possible? Because we don't have any more sense of right and wrong, of what is true and what is false. You following it? People are making their own truth. People are making their own path, their own decision without even considering these things. These things are now infecting and eating the state of Israel from inside, just like in the Torah portion this week. When we are seeing how it's eaten Israel, 3,000 people from inside, cause a spiritual virus to Israel. The same thing has happened today. Nothing has changed today. And it is violent, and it is ugly, and it is nasty. Eldad sent me a video this week of people from the left who are punching people who don't agree with him, literally come to them and start beating them up. Not Palestinian to Jews to Jews. And when I release to you the news later on this week, next week, you will understand this sermon even better. This infection that is happening inside the house of Israel, of perverting the truth, mixing this truth, is the most dangerous thing that happened. Look at this next headline. Biden announced. The Saints Biden announced, we will put humanitarian aid into Gaza, without really asking Israel. Oh, Israel, we're not going to even ask you. We are going to do that. While we give, listen to the second part, Hezbollah operative terrorists have been killed. So wait a second. Let me get this straight. Let's make sure we understand it. United States of America, in the name of truth and godliness, sent humanitarian aid into Gaza, while the same people of Gaza holding 134 people hostage Are you listening to this? We are swirling and we are mixing truth with false. Now there is a truth, a new truth. The Gaza people are oppressed people and Israel is the oppressor. That is the truth. But it's not mixed in properly with the real truth that the Palestinian and Hamas are holding those people captive. They are solely responsible for what's happening in Gaza right now, you see. A complete perversion of the truth. Look at the next one. Biden say deal for temporary ceasefire by Monday is unlikely. What's the matter, Biden? Just 3 days ago, you told us there's going to be deal. Read this. He said that U.S. is pulling out. I want you to read this. Pulling out every stop to get supplies into Gaza and airdrop to humanitarian aid will start very soon. Who do you think get this humanitarian aid, brothers and sisters? Who do you think is enjoying this humanitarian aid? It's the one who holds the gun in the hand. It's Hamas. It's Hamas who is going to get this aid. Now, he is doing it in the name of truth and the name of godliness. But listen to the real truth, and I quote, the Israel Defense, next slide, the Israel Defense Forces have alleged that they were responding to the fire, for this humanitarian catastrophe, to the fire by the militants from an area near where the civilians were sheltering. Survivors told to the CNN that there were no militants to the location. So listen to what the Israelis said. We think it's deeply tragic that the war with Hamas have brought on the people of Gaza by deciding to declare this needless war on October 7th. Levy said to CNN Collins on Friday. Hamas deliberately embeds its fighter within civilian areas because it knows that either it gain immunity for its fighter or civilian will be hurt. And Hamas want the civilian to be hurt because it's the only strategy that trying to survive this war is to generate sympathy and international pressure on Israel to stop. He told CNN, you should know that behind all of this right now, brothers and sisters, this pressure on Israel is United States of America. And I said it, and I wrote it, and I'm going to tell you again. Whoever pressure Israel, going to reveal himself as the real Edom. America is turning to become the real Edom of the Bible as days go by. We are mixing truth with false, fantasy with reality, darkness in light, and this is the plot of the enemy. We know that the Tsar is the one who is controlling right now United States of America. If you think President Biden is the one who is in charge now, you are delusional. United States of America is controlled by the sitra, achra. The sitra, achra is those who are mixing themselves in a business that is not their own. That's what it means. That's what the word Erev, Rav mean. You get yourself into a business that belongs to the heavens. Are you hearing what I'm telling you right now? This is very important that you understood what happened in Exodus chapter 32 and see the parallel today. United States of America, the nations are getting themselves involved in the business of God. And when we get ourselves involved in the business of God, God's wrath is going to come upon us. Listen to what the Ramad is saying. This is important that you understand this. Look at this. He said, who will go to seduce by the method of swirling? Write yourself in your note. The word in Hebrew for swirling is the word irbuv. Who will be doing the irbuv? Surely not within Israel, where I have the seed of emet or truth. It will be used who will be used? He will use a group of people to mix it. That is called in Hebrew Erev Rav. Stop there for a second. The word in Hebrew Erev Rav means mix, multitude. The word Erev Rav, if you take those words together, Erev Rav, and you put it together, you get the Hebrew word irbuv, meaning swirling, meaning a tornado. One of the words for swirling is the word like a tornado. God is using right now the Erev Rav, just as he used the Erev Rav in Exodus chapter 32. Their name in to mix something that is foreign. And the Ramad is speaking on that, and he says, listen to this, who will mix the seed of truth with the seed of the sitra, achra? Who will introduce Satan into Israel? It will be used from the Erev Rav, which are the children of transgression and the seed of lies, who will be seduced easily to stop the truth and the mixed with the tikkun. What does that mean? To stop it. When they stop the truth, the tikkun cannot take place into the world, brothers and sisters. Look at the Hebrew on your screen right now, the word Erev Rav. If you take this word Erev and Rav, you get the Hebrew word irbuv. What is the word irbuv? Swirl, tornado, destruction. Look at the next slide with me. What does a tornado does? What is the meaning? This is the meaning of the word Erev Rav. That is the meaning of the word Erev Rav. It's bring chaos and it's bring destruction for everything that is standing in its way. Look at the next slide. Look at the picture of those tornadoes. That is the meaning of the word in Hebrew Erev Rav. The word Erev Rav in Hebrew is the word tornado. You should know that, beloved. Listen to me. God is right now, or I should say the nations, not God. The nations are right now prophetically are playing the role of the Erev Rav, because they are bringing a tornado upon Israel. Brothers and sisters, they are talking about stopping this war and declaring a Palestinian state, whether Israel like it or not, while promising Israel peace with Saudi Arabia. Friends, I wrote about this, a complete book. It's called The Fall of Edom. Read it. It's happening right now. America is turning to the Erev Rav. European Union is turning to the Erev Rav. We need to be careful. We need to watch out for those things that are happening right now. What is the meaning of the word Erev Rav? The sons of the swirl. The sons of the tornado. In your Bible, they are translated as a mixed multitude. But the Erev Rav, at least a portion of the Erev Rav, are none other than the sons of the swirl, the son of the tornado. And we need to make sure that our own friend, our own ally, and the nations will not turn to be the son of the swirl. They have one agenda: to remove the truth from the world. Do you think America is standing for the truth? What message does it send that America is giving right now humanitarian aid to the Palestinians? And stop saying they're good Palestinians. They'll stop believing this. When the hostages are being freed, they ask the hostages, where did they keep you? They kept them in resident home, not in just Hamas operative homes. Know the truth. The people have chosen Hamas. Look what the Ramad is saying about the sons of the swirl. He said, how did the Erev Rav, the son of the swirl, seduced Israel, who followed the Erev Rav? Here you go. They caused Israel to miscalculate the 40 days for Moses' appearance. As the matter of the truth, the 40th day was the following day. Stop there. It says that Moses was delayed of coming, right? Moses says, I'm coming back in 40 days on the 6th hour. And they got confused. Let me tell you the dirty secret. It was not the 40th day. The Ramad is correct. It was the 39th day. Who is the one who confused them? It was Satan. Who is the yes Satan used? He used the Erev Rav. Look what's happening right now. We have the second in command in the Israeli government. The second in command, leaving Israel to go meet with American officials. What do you think they're doing? Sit down and sing the Kumbaya? No. They are weakening Israel from within. The American administration give power and strength to forces inside Israel who seek to take down the current administration. Do not be foolish about it. Know what is happening right now. The forces in America are being used because they want to take down Benjamin Netanyahu. And I'm not saying Benjamin Netanyahu is perfect or so forth, but let me tell you something. Those forces want to stop the war for their own political gain. You see elections coming inside the United States of America. We know exactly what the Democratic Party agenda is. Don't be foolish. They are seeking to confuse the Jewish people. They are seeking to cause us to turn ourselves, to miscalculate this war. Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. A miscalculation caused the rebellion, which caused the Erev Rav, which called the golden calf. Israel is this close. I'm begging you. Go back. Read the new Hamas. Read the fall of Edom. Read those books. And you understand that we are this close to civil war right now. And people say, oh, Vat Chinam, and see all the wonderful videos from Israel. Nonsense. Nonsense. It's like October 7th have not ever happened. People hate each other. Even worse. How do I know? Because I'm a victim. I am a victim of this hate in a way that you cannot even imagine. I am. Me, my family, Avat Ami, in ways you cannot even imagine. We are victim of this same thing of the Erev Rav. The Erev Rav can work inside sometimes. You see what's happened? The Erev Rav influenced people from the inside. Satan is smart. He's influenced people from the inside. Right now, United States is influencing Benny Gantz, who is maybe even going to drop the entire coalition. We might even lose the entire Knesset. Everything I'm reading right now is telling us the Knesset might fall any day now. What do you think will happen if the Knesset fall? What do you think will happen to Hamas? What do you think will be the strengthening and the encouragement to Hezbollah if Israel have to go to another election? What is America doing? What is the world doing right now to try to stir up trouble inside Israel? It's the same thing that happened in the Torah portion this Shabbat. Look at what the Ramad saying. As the matter of the truth, the 40th day was the following day. Oh my goodness. The master of confusion confused us. They came on the 6th hour of the 39th day to manipulate the calculation of the children of Israel, to bring chaos, panic to the hearts of the believer, and to think and to believe that Moses is dead and everything was nullified. Why have they waited for 6 hours? Are you reading that? What is the plot of the enemy? Is to tell them that Moses was dead. It's like a virus. Everybody start to believe that Moses was dead, to bring chaos, to bring panic to the heart of the believers. Brothers and sisters, you have to understand what removing the truth does. When one does not have the truth, chaos, panic, and manipulation is very easy. And right now, the world is being manipulated. It's like people do not have any more brain to think for themselves of the facts. Do you notice this? They were so infected so bad that they could not do even basic arithmetic. Rather to count 40 days, they counted 39 days. God help us. This infection is spreading faster. This infection called anti-Semitism. And this infection called baseless hatred. And let me tell you, this infection is not just in the nations. This infection happening in Israel in a very serious way. It's the infection of hate. This infection is so serious, it's affected us as an organization in a very real way. In the near future, I will have the opportunity to open my mouth and share this with you so that you understand the spiritual battle and the spiritual war that we are in right now. It is causing people to be irrational. What is happening here in this text is irrational. They don't even call Moshe, the man. This man, you know, that guy, achra, he's not nobody now. Oh my gosh, he just opened the sea. He just brought these plagues. He's done all those things. And you call him the man? How can you do that? Because when you're infected, the infection becomes so severe, and the panic and chaos becomes so severe that it's manipulated. And you should understand what's happening. Israel right now is manipulated. 50% of my country is manipulated to think that we are actually can have peace with the Palestinians. 50% of this nation of Israel. This is how not 3,000. 50% are infected. And who is the one who infected them and said, oh, we believe in the two-state solution? Who is it? It is the Erev Rav, the Irbuv, who mix truth with fantasy. You should know that, brothers and sisters. You should know that. Why is it that they waited for 6 hours? Here's the answer. Next slide. He said, it is well known by our sages that after 6 hours, it represents a prophetic time. It is the time that is known as the spiritual control of the Erev Rav. At the 6th hour, their root and strength become powerful to the point that they can be successful in their witchcraft and in sorcery. I want you to underline those words. Witchcraft and sorcery. This is the reason that they went with a great speed to Aaron. He said, come, make us a God who shall go before us. Are you following what I'm telling you right now? Those forces of the Erev Rav, of the Irbuv, of the mixture between truth and lies, and between falsehood and emet, are the forces of witchcraft and sorcery. Please, I'm asking you, read the Fall of Edom. Don't read it like a magazine. Read it with an open heart and understand the forces of witchcraft and sorcery. And there is another dilemma that we have to ask ourselves. Why is it that they went to Aaron? Why did they pick on Aaron? Why didn't they went to somebody else? You have to understand the plot of the enemy. You will understand. If you understand what I'm about to explain to you, you have to understand why United States of America has been chosen for this task of becoming Edom. Listen to what it says. The Ramad continue. Why they went to Aaron and not somebody else? There are two reasons. It's a typo. Aaron was the second in command after Moses. the swirl, the Erev Rav, the Irbuv of the Erev Rav is to happen upon the leaders. Stop there, stop there. The Erev Rav always going to infect the leaders, the most powerful, the most important leaders. What do you think is going after? United States of America and Vladimir Putin, because those are the two most powerful leaders on the face of the earth. And you notice how America now completely turning in Israel, forcing Israel to a two-state solution, forcing Israel to stop the war. Friends, if we stop this war against Hamas, the Holocaust will come upon us. Where do we live? What are we thinking? This power of the Erev Rav of the Irbuv is always to mix something holy with unholy with our leaders. That's why we have to pray for our leaders. Let's continue to read. However, the main reason for attacking Aaron is because he represents the right hand of holiness. Listen to this. Friends, this is Chassidut 101. We need to be not ignorant of those things. Aaron represents Yad Yemin, which is called Kedusha. And if he partner with the left hand, representing Tom'ah, meaning the forces of darkness, the left side will gain strength from corrupting holiness, and every wicked plot will be successful. Are you understanding what I'm explaining to you right now, brothers and sisters? That if something that has some righteousness to it is partnered with wickedness, there is no stopping of wickedness. If the tzaddikim are partnered with the rashaim, then the rashaim become so strong. If you remember the movie The Lord of the Rings, there was this good wizard and there was this bad wizard, and the bad wizard come and said to the good wizard, to Gandalf, partner with me, we can rule the world together. That is exactly the point. When wickedness, Tom'ah, somehow get a hold of our leaders, then Hasatan is fuel to really to do anything that he chooses to do. And that's why the Ramad saying here the following: corrupting holiness, and every wicked plot will be successful. This is the reason for the wrath of Hashem, who wanted to destroy Aaron, that was saved through the tefillah of Moshe. I want you to understand this. Brothers and sisters, he's going after our leaders right now. He's going after our congressmen. He's going after our mayors. And those mayors, they are corrupted too. Goodness. I have a lot to share with you when the Lord will allow me to share. You see, there was a delay in the coming of the Moshe, but there was not real delay. There was no real delay. The word here is boshesh, beshesh, in the 6th hour. That's when Satan is working faster than any other time. And the rabbi says here, and I quote, the word boshesh, listen to Midrash Tanchuma 19. The word boshesh, delay, indicated it was the 6th hour of the day. 40,000 people had assembled to leave Egypt with the Israelites. And among them, there were 2 Egyptian magicians named Janus and Jambres, who had performed magical feats for Pharaoh, as it is written in Exodus 7:22. And the magician of Egypt is that matter like the earth. All of them gathered around Aaron and said, and the people gathered around together and to Aaron and said. You have to understand what happened. The Erev Rav, those are people who are influenced by the Sarim. Janus and Jambres are mentioned not in the Torah, but they are mentioned in Midrash Tanchuma, as you can see here, and in Targum Yonatan, and of course, in the New Testament. Where is it coming from? It's an oral tradition. You see how much we need oral tradition? We call it scriptures in the New Testament, but it is here, found in Midrash Tanchuma. And what was the thing with Janus and Jambres? Who is today the Janus and Jambres? The leaders who are causing Israel to fall today are the Janus and Jambres of the world. The President Bidens of the world are the Janus and Jambres. The Kamala Harris, those are the Janus and Jambres of the world today. Because they want to infect Israel from inside. They want Israel to have fight and struggle from within it. So that Israel will collapse from inside. So what did they do? They went with the power of the Sarim and they infected the Jewish people to miscalculate the time. Completely miscalculate the time. You see, when you are not walking with the emet, Beshesh. What is the word Beshesh in Hebrew? The word Shesh is 6. Shema Israel Adonai Elokeinu Adonai Echad. 6. When we do not say Shema Israel every day, we will be manipulated. When we put our power on any other 6 except to the Shema, we will be manipulated. Just this week, I was in Korea. Anti-Semitic lady just get up and start slur anti-Semitic racial stuff while believing in Yeshua. How is it possible? Because they are possessed, controlled, and manipulated by the Sarim. And more and more and more and more and more people are being manipulated and controlled right now. You need to make sure that you are not falling to the trap of Janus and Jambres. Midrash Tanchuma continue and says, and I quote, when Moses failed to return by the 48th day, which was, by the way, the 39th day, and the 6th hour of the day, Aaron and Hur told them, he is now descending the mountain. But they did not pay attention. Some say that Satan rose and showed them, plant a chip, a virus, and showed them their likeness of his bear on the mountain. And that he say is what they said for that man Moses. Then Hur stepped forward and rebuked them. Forthwith they returned against him and slew him. They killed their own people. When Aaron's witnessed to become terrified and sought to occupy them with other matter, but they cried out, "Oh, make us a god!" And that they demanded was known to the Holy One who spoke to the world, came into being. Brothers and sisters, do you understand what happened when we allow the spirit of the Erev Rav of Janus and Jambres to come inside of us to manipulate the plan of God? Janus and Jambres exist all over the world today. It exists even in the churches. This Erev Rav tried to manipulate. Don't fall into this trap, brothers and sisters. Look what it's led to. Exactly what it says in Isaiah 59:15. A lack of mishpat. They killed their own. They killed Hur and they put a knife to Aaron. And this is the signs of the time. Do you think our enemies, our own allies, will not do it? Mark my word. There will be a day where America, unless we make a repentance, will turn completely against Israel. God help us. And what was the message? What was the nature of infection? Moses is dead. Moses is not going back. That's why I call him that man. He's not coming back. Surely Moses is not coming. Mashiach is not coming back. The only thing we need to remind the Jewish people today, God have it under control. Mashiach is coming. You fight, and God and Mashiach will fight with you. We must remind Israel that, and strengthen Israel, and strengthen the IDF, and strengthen the nation, and not bow down to the principality through humanism. Brothers and sisters, do not fall to this trap. In the whole show it is written the following: they have exchanged their honor in the blueprint of ox who eat grass, as they exchanged the honor of Moses, who used him to do many miracles with substitution of ox, that they will bow down to the mask of Avodah Zarah. What is the ultimate task of the Irbuv, of the Erev Rav? To cause Israel to go to Avodah Zarah, to idol worship. When we put the sign, help us America. And that's why I want you to get this. Please take this course from me and with me so you can see it. Israel today is starting to head to Avodah Zarah. We need to make sure we will not fall into Avodah Zarah. And the only way we do it is we remove the Erev Rav from within us. You know what's the worst Erev Rav? The worst Erev Rav is not the Messianic Jews. Many Orthodox Jews think that the Erev Rav is the Christians. Do you know that? They really think that. No. You know what's the worst Erev Rav? Is those inside of us who do not believe to the plan of God, who do not believe to the promise of God. Those are the worst Erev Rav. And we need to make sure that we will not fall into this category. Shabbat 89a discuss this passage at great length. Underline Shabbat 89a. I speak of that a lot in the good news according to COVID-19. Let's read together. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, what is the meaning of that which is written? And the people saw that Moshe delayed Boshesh to come down from the mount. Do not read the word in the verse as Boshesh. Rather, read it as Bau Shesh. They came on the 6th hour. They arrived in the 6th hour. When Moses ascended on high, he told the Jewish people, in 40 days, the beginning of the 6th hour, I will return. After 40 days, Satan came and brought confusion to the world by a mean of Irbuv, storm, Erev Rav. What's the word storm? Brothers and sisters, the word storm, the word Irbuv is the word Erev Rav. God is bringing storm from Israel right now, from within and from outside. The outside is building the storm from the inside. Are you following what I'm telling you? This is what all of New Hamas is all about. The storm from the outside is bringing the storm to the inside. You should know that. He brought the Erev Rav. The word Erev Rav, tornado, storm, you pick the word. Let's continue. And it was impossible to restrain the time. They lost calculation of the time. Satan said to the Jews, where is your teacher, Moses? They said to him, he ascended on high. Satan responded to them, 6 hours have arrived, and he has not yet came? Surely he won't. And they paid him no attention. Satan then said to them, Moses died, and they paid no attention. Brothers and sisters, ultimately, look at the next slide. Ultimately, look how deceptive he is. He showed them the image of his deathbed, the image of Moses, corpse in the cloud. And that is what the Jewish people said to Aaron. For this Moses, the man, have brought us out of the land of Egypt. We do not know what became of him. He is infected them by the Erev Rav, with Jambres and with Janus, doing this. Now I want you to understand something. They had a plot, and their plot is to destroy Israel from inside. To lead Israel to Avodah Zarah. Today, our people, God help us, our people are infected with Avodah Zarah. You should know that about the Jewish people today. We are infected. At least half of the population looking for America and stop looking at God. And because of that, we are guilty of Avodah Zarah. Look what our rabbi said, and I quote, Israel sinned in real Avodah Zarah. Those who made the golden calf were the Gerim, who joined themselves to the house of Israel. The people of the swell, the Erev Rav, the people of the storm, the people of the tornado. The Erev Rav were those who were divisive, who took the garment of Satan to replace Moses. What is their plan? Replacement theology. But not any all replacement theology, brothers and sisters, replacing the Messiah. You want to know what America is trying to do right now in the world? They are trying to be Mashiach to Israel. America, you are not a Mashiach to Israel. Take off the garment of Mashiach. Take off the garment of Moses. Take off those garments. This is the problem today. The Erev Rav want us to look upon them. And there are two types of Gerim. There are those Gerim who are going to be joining Israel, but they are bringing foreign ID. We have people now, Hebrew Roots movement. They want to wear talit without kippah on their head. Oh my gosh. And they teach thousands of people. Say, don't believe rabbinical Judaism. What about Messianic Judaism? Oh, we want to play, we want to wear talit, we want to wear kippah. Those rabbis, naughty, they're all bad. So let's throw everything they say into the trash. That brings destruction upon Israel too. What about the seculars who are saying, we want to be the God, the chosen people, but we want nothing to do with God. That's also Erev Rav. The Erev Rav is everywhere. We have Orthodox Erev Rav. We have secular Erev Rav. We have Erev Rav inside of us. We have Erev Rav outside of us. We have Gerim. We have Yehudim. We have so many swirls. And those swirls have a plan of destroying us against the fight against the Satan that ultimately will brought down Edom. Look at what it says, Psalm 106. It says, they exchanged their glory for the image of a bull that feed on the grass. They forgot God who saved them, who performed great deeds in Egypt. We exchange the glory, the promises, the avot, the gevurot, all the covenants. We are exchanging them for a bull that will feed the grass. What is the sign of Wall Street? A bull. Don't exchange Hashem for anything. And you, brothers and sisters, make sure that you not be this Erev Rav. Who is this Erev Rav? And are you the Erev Rav? Are we the Erev Rav? Is there a piece of Janus and Jambres inside of us? Let me close in this. Any person that caused the Jewish people to doubt and to question the goodness of the Lord to Israel, the promises and the plan of God that has been given to Israel, is, by definition, the Erev Rav. Any person that brainwash Israel not to believe in the plan of God of salvation is the Erev Rav. Any person that tell Israel, rely upon yourself, upon your awesome army, and not before Hashem, is the Erev Rav. Every person who say give land is the Erev Rav. Brothers and sisters, we are indeed, as a nation, the Erev Rav. Today we come against this 6th hour that is surfacing. It is surfacing. And there are so many Janus and Jambres that are using in raising Janus and Jambres inside of Israel. Doubt. They bring the spirit of Amalek inside of us. Lord, may those voices will be silent. May we will stand with the promises and the plan that God has to Israel and to the Jewish people. And may Israel believe today. And may Israel will not exchange their own glory for the image of the bull. No bull can stand for the image of the glory. And may we will not forget God. In the name of Yeshua. Amen ve amen. We are separating ourselves from the Erev Rav. Stand right now and say, I am separating myself from this Erev Rav. God bless you, friends.